Hi, welcome to my screencast. So in this screencast, I'll be creating a web application that allows people to upload their photos. So this photo upload application has two parts. So the first part is a simple web page that allows photo to be uploaded to the server. The second portion is that once the photo has been uploaded, the server will send out notification to other devices that are observing the photo stream. So since the application is has many parts, and to logically explain each part, I've broken up the screencast into three parts. So this is the first part. So in the first part, what we'll be doing is the upload. So in the upload part, the back portion is written using Java EE 7 in particular, and the front part is written using AngularJS. So in my next screencast, we will do the notification portion. So the notification portion uses WebSocket. So devices will connect into the server using WebSocket. When a new photo arrives, the server will grab this connected WebSocket and push the notification to these devices. In the third part of the screencast, we will convert the front portion, which is web page, into a mobile application. So we'll be using Angular and Ionic, and we'll be creating a hybrid app. So the idea is that we can use a mobile phone to snap any pictures, upload them, and then these images will get pushed to anyone who is observing our photo stream. So let's start with the first part of the application. So I'm going to use NetBeans. So I will start by creating a Java EE web project. So I'll do the back portion first. I'm going to call it Photostream. And everything's okay. So we'll just let it go ahead and generate the file. So I'll close this first. So I'm going to do the back end portion first, which is a servlet. So let me create a class. I'm going to call this upload servlet. Come at me photo stream. Okay. And okay, so I'm going to create a servlet, and the servlet I'm going to use upload. Okay, I'm also going to use the servlet in async mode, so I'm going to enable async support. Since this is going to receive our file upload, so I'm going to say multi-part config. So the multi-part config, and I believe async support is introduced, was added to the servlet in Java EE 6. So I will now extend the HTTP servlet. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is this. So in a real application, in a real photo upload application, you will probably be using a CMS, or maybe you're going to store your data in MongoDB using GridFS or whatever. But for this little application, what I'm going to do is this. I'm just going to dump the application into an images directory in my document root. Okay. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to create a reference to my root directory. I'm going to use path. So path is the path is in the NIO path, file path is introduced in Java SE 7. So I'm going to say image directory, and currently it's going to be null. I'm going to initialize this in the init of the servlet. So when the servlet starts up, I will grab the servlet context, get servlet context. And what I'll do is this. I will get the I will now say image directory get, I will say context, get real path of the images directory, like that. Okay. So this, hopefully, this thing will resolve to a file, to a directory. So now we're going to write the upload. So the upload portion is since it's a file upload, so it's going to be a do post, and the upload will have two parameters. In my case, I'm going to have two parameters. The first is going to be the actual file. So, oops. Okay, path. Okay, so I'm going to get a path. So image file. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to need is I'm going to get, so whoever who is uploading file needs to tell me the file type. Now you can work out the file type from the path, but since this is just a simple application, I'm going to get the user to tell me. So the file path is basically the suffix of the image. So if the image is like JPEG, then the type will be JPG. I'm going to say image type. Okay. I'm also going to generate a file name to save the file. So I'm going to say image name. I'm going to use UUID to string, and I'm just going to only take the first 8 characters of it. Okay. So, and then what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to append my image type. So this will give me the file name. So now the next thing we're going to do is this. We're going to have to save the image. So I'm going to put the servlet into async mode. So I'm going to go async context, and from request start async. Okay. So if you don't have this async support, when you call start async, you'll get an exception. So you have to have that. And also, if you got any filters in front, all the filters must also have async supported enabled. So I'm going to say start. Okay. So start takes a runnable. Since I'm using Java SE8, I will use lambda to do that. Okay. So now what we do is this. So what happens is this: this portion here, everything inside the start will be executed in a separate thread. The request thread will be suspended, right? So once we have finished our work, we need to resume the request thread. So the way to resume the request thread is to just say complete, like that. Okay, so that's the part. Okay, so now what we are going to do is this. We are going to now save the file. So I'm going to say buffered input stream, new buffered input stream. I'm going to say path, image file. I'm going to get the input stream, and since that throws an IO exception, I'm going to catch the IO exception. Okay, and then I'm going to tell my client or tell the browser that that something has gone wrong. I'm going to say send error. I'm going to send. I'm going to probably say SC. Probably since it's an exception, probably an internal error, and I'm going to just return back the exception message. Okay, since send error throws an IO exception again, I'm going to have to wrap this up in a try catch block, but this time I'm just going to ignore it. Okay, so now we are going to save the file. So I'll say files, copy file. So copy the input stream. So we have got our input stream, buffer input stream, the image directory. So that's just a root. We're going to resolve it to my image name, and the option. The options is going to be standard copy options, replace existing file. If there's any file, we'll just replace it. So files again is introduced in Java SE7. So we just copy the input stream to this file. So this file is under. So this file is, its name is this file, and it's under this directory, which the images directory. So we're just going to write it there. So once we have done, we're going to tell the client that we have accepted, and we want to also tell the client what is the name of the file that we have just saved, the image file that we just saved. So we're going to send back a JSON object. So we're going to say set content type JSON, and then we will now write so we will now write the data back. Okay, so what do we write? So let's construct the JSON object first. So we'll say result JSON create object builder. I'm going to add image name, the image name, and then I'll say build. Okay, so JSON support was added into Java EE7. So now I've got the JSON object. So the object is going to look something like this: image name, and then the name of the file name, baby.png, whatever. Okay, so now that we have got the result, we will say pw print result to string, and then we're going to flush it for good measure. Okay, so now we are done. So quite simple. So we get the file, we generate the file name, we copy the file, we set the response, tell the type, pass it back the result, which is a JSON object. We construct the JSON object, and then we write out the JSON object. Then, very important, we resume the request. Okay, so let's try this application. Try running this application. So what I'm going to do is this: I'm going to run this file. Okay, so we'll copy this, and I'm going to use advanced REST client. So I've got. So let me just show you again. So advanced REST client. So if you go advanced REST client, okay, you go request post. So stick in our reference. So that's our reference, and upload is our application. So upload the upload portion, and then we want to get post. So the file type. So we click on file. So this is the file, and this is the name of the field. So the name is image file. So we type image file here. Okay. So let's choose. So this one you have to change it to multi-part form data. Choose a file. So let's choose an image. So let's choose Blender. Okay. Also, so since Blender is a PNG file, I will need to say the second image type PNG. So that's the second image type. Okay. So let's upload and see what happens. So the file has been accepted. So that has been saved. So let's take this thing and go and have a look. So here I will say images. I'm going to paste this here, and we should get Blender. Okay, so let's try another one. Upload another file. So let's go and let's do Brothers. Okay, so I'm going to now send. So that image has come back. So let's try this. Okay, so the upload portion of the application is working. So let me undeploy this. So now we are going to write a simple Angular client. So let's set up our Bower to do that for us. So Bower. So it's going to go into Bower components. So actually, I don't like Bower components. Okay. So and I'm going to create bower JSON. Okay. So once you have created, so the bower RC file and the bower JSON file must be created on the project root. So you click on that and you go new. Okay. So now after that you go properties, click on bower. So make sure you have bower installed. And now I'm going to add my package. So I'm going to use Angular. So it's Angular. Okay. So I'm also going to need upload. So Angular file upload. So there are actually quite a few. The one that I'm going to use is this particular module. Okay. So ng file upload. So we're going to use bower to search for us. Ng file upload. Okay, so I'm going to add that in. Okay, so it's going to go off and dump Angular. Okay, so now it's done. I'm going to create a JavaScript file. I'm going to call it index. Okay, so let's start the application. Okay, so let us create the login page first and see how it looks like. So I'm going to set up the script. So load Angular first. So it's going to be libs Angular. Okay, so script file upload. I'm going to use ng file upload. Okay, so now I'll load my script. Okay, so now I'm going to just say h1 file upload. Okay, I'm going to have a form. I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it upload form. No validate. Okay, so let's leave for the time being first. Okay, so I will now say image file. Say input type file. Okay, it's going to accept image only, and it's a required field. Okay, and then our button, and then the type is submit. I'll say upload. I'm also going to need a just a little message to tell me that the file has been uploaded and display the name of the file. So I'm going to have a span, just a simple span here. Okay, right. So let's just run this and see how it looks like. Okay, so I can choose a file. So it only choose like images file. Okay, for example, like this. Okay, okay. So now we will write. Let me undeploy this first. We will now write our Angular application. So I'm going to call this upload app. So my Angular application, Angular module upload app. So it's going to be dependent on the ng file upload. So the ng file upload. So in the module definition, so that's the name, ng file upload. So we say ng file upload. Okay. So I'm going to now create a controller. I'm going to call it upload controller, and I'm going to inject in, of course, the scope. And the other thing that you need to inject in is the upload service, which is provided by the ng upload. And then I'll create my controller. So function upload controller. So I will say $scope upload. Okay, so I will define a model. I'm going to call this image file, and this is going to hold the actual file itself. And I'm also going to have a status. Currently it is blank, and I'm going to have a button to perform the upload. Okay, so when the person performs the upload, so this is what we do: upload, upload. So what you do is this. So according to the documentation here, so the simplest one is you provide the URL and the data. Okay, so this is the form data. So the URL we're going to go to, so our URL is going to be upload. So this upload refers to this guy here. Okay, and then the data. Okay, so the data, if you recall, we have got two pieces of information that we need to provide. Of course, the image file. So the image file is going to be just scope image file. So the second one, if you remember, is the image type, the type of the image. So we will say image. We can work out the image type from the file. So the scope. So the image file object has got a property called type. So that basically the type, right? If let's say if you upload a PNG file, the type will be a string, and you will say something like this: PNG. Okay. So what we do is this: we just go split the slash. So this one will break it up into an array of two elements, and then we want the second element. Okay, like that. So anyway, just to remind us, so this is like this, right? Okay, so now, so we get the result. So this result is this thing that is returned. Okay, so we now want to display the result. So we say something like this: scope status equals to result dot data, okay, dot image image name. Okay, so result dot data refers to this part. The result has got other attributes in it. The actual property that holds the data is the data property. So result dot data get image name. So we will get this image name, and we set it to our status. Okay. So now we have done that. Let us bind this to our view. So we go ng app upload app. Okay. So now we go ng controller upload controller. Oops. Upload controller, and this one we have a model. So we're going to say ng model. It's going to be image file. Okay. So the form ng submit is going to be upload function. So when we click on this, this is going to call this to perform the upload, and we want to ensure that we want to make sure that we only perform the upload after the user has selected a file. So we say ng disable upload form $invalid. So while it's invalid, this thing will be disabled. Okay, and we want to bind. Finally, we want to bind the status here. Okay, so let's run through this. So we say this is an Angular application, and the name of application is upload app. So that's the controller. So we have a form. We're going to use Angular form, and we have a submit to perform the upload. So we have a input type to grab the image, and then we disable. We disable the button until the file has been selected. Okay, and this is the status. So one last thing that we need to do is this: when you're using the ng file upload, you need to select, you need to add this directive to the element that is performing the upload. So in my case is ngf select. So the ngf select is part of the ng file upload directive. Okay, so now that we are done, we can deploy the application. And so let's try running this. Okay, so if you notice, so let's check if there are any exception. Okay, so there's no exception. So you notice that this is disabled, so I will choose a file now. So let's go quiz. Okay, so when I select that, so once it's selected, this has been enabled. So I go upload. So that's the image. Copy that. Images. So that's the file that has been uploaded. So let's do one more. Choose a file. So let's do vendor again. File upload. Okay, so that's it for this first part of the screencast. So do tune in for the second part where we push the uploads onto connected device. Thank you very much. Till next time.